Tudo bem, pessoal? Sou a Josefine, diretora executiva do Projeto Paradiso. Estou aqui com toda a equipe do Projeto Paradiso. E hoje a gente tem a honra e o prazer de receber o TFL ScriptLab, na pessoa da Angelica Cantisani, que está aqui direto de Torino, e é uma grande artista, a Moara Passoni, diretora, realizadora, premiada, que participou do ScriptLab numa edição que ainda está participando, né? Enfim, quer dizer, numa edição conturbada, que foi a edição Covid, mas, enfim, está aqui para nos contar da experiência dela. Bem-vindo a todos, a gente vai passar para o inglês primeiro, então, I'll switch back to English. So Angelica will speak a little bit about the TorinoFilmLab ScriptLab. Projeto Paradiso offers a fellowship for Brazilian project, or actually people that are talents that are selected either for the ScriptLab Projects or the ScriptLab story editing, and we've had talents in the past in both editions, so let's hope, Brazilian talents. So Angelica will tell us a little bit about both labs, really amazing labs. We're big fans and have been from the beginning. I think Torino was one of our first partners when we started. They didn't even know they were our partners, but we decided they were our partners. So we said, you know, if a Brazilian is selected, we're going to fund him. And then poco a poco, you know, we started getting to know the people at Torino. I went to Torino, and then we became partners, and I'm really happy about this. And so we'd be really happy to continue, go on. We support actually people, talents, not only in the ScriptLab, but in other labs in Torino. So we actually have a close relationship now. And after Angelica tells us about TorinoFilmLab, Moara, and the subscription process, and, you know, all those kind of, you know, tactical and technical details, and Moara will tell us about her experience, and then we'll open up for questions. You can ask your questions writing in the chat, but you can also just raise your hand and ask your question. You can ask it in Portuguese and we translate it, or you can ask it directly in English. And also, we love it when people turn on their cameras so we can see their beautiful faces, and it makes it a little bit less zoomy and a little bit more, I don't know, nice. And so I will let Angelica tell us all about the TFL ScriptLab. Inscriptions go up until October 1st. So you have 20 days still ahead of you. So you better listen and understand how to make it work so that you are selected. And Angelica, please tell us about your great lab.
Hello, everybody. I would love to welcome you in Portuguese and Brazilian, but I'm really, really bad. So I have to talk in English, and I will speak English. I will go slow. If something is not clear, please stop me and I will be happy to repeat.
Angelica, we forgot the video. Should we show the video very quickly?
If you can do it, amazing.
Great. So Luisa, we have a short video. Very nice.
Okay, thank you. So for those who don't know about TorinoFilmLab, we are a multidisciplinary lab aimed at supporting international talents from all over the world. And our lab is a combination between training and development programs to funding activities, and also to meeting with the industry and decision makers from all over the world. We have three main programs. One of those is ScriptLab, that is the one that I'm here to present. And the other two are Feature Lab, always aimed at feature films development, And the third one is Series Lab, that is aimed at TV series projects. But I'm here to talk about the ScriptLab, that is our older child, because it's the one that was created 14 years ago. And I have to say that it's also the most successful one, because we receive a huge number of applications every year. We receive around 500 applications, so it's a huge number. And this training program is aimed at helping the development of feature films at early development stage. So participants join the lab with a treatment, and at the end of the training program, they will have a full script. So the program aims at helping in working on the script, and like all the TFL activities, we really believe that the best that we can offer to a writer director is not just working with our experienced tutor, but also with their colleagues. So that's why all the activities are realized in group sessions where all the participants can collaborate, can boost ideas, can be involved in the creative process. ScriptLab consists in 3 residential workshops plus 2 online activities. The call for application is now open, as Josephine said, and it will be online until October 1st. So you don't have so much time, but you can still do it. The first workshop will be held in March, the second one in June, and at the end of the program, there is a third workshop, residential, plus the final presentation in our meeting event. The meeting event is our annual showcase that takes place always in Turin, to get close to the Torino Film Festival. And basically in our meeting event, we invite a selection of the best decision maker, mostly European, but that can really have the chance to meet the projects and the talents that we have been working with, and hopefully to develop some industry partnerships and collaborations. So let's say that you start in March and you end in November. So it's mostly 1 year long program. But as I said, it's just 3 residential workshops. Even if up to the residential workshops, there is a lot to do, because as you can imagine, you have to work on a full script in 6 months. So it's quite intensive. But after Moara, we'll tell you more about the intensity of the work to do there. We select 20 projects per year, and we have 5 script tutors working with the groups, and so it means that each group has 4 projects, and so each tutor works with 5 projects. Of course, our main force are the excellent tutors that work with us and that we have in our team. They are open to help and boost the development of the projects, even if, as I said, we really think that it's important to be generous in this kind of training activities, and not just to be there to work on your own projects, but also be ready to collaborate and to give feedback, suggestions, and be involved in the development of the other projects that join the lab. All the TorinoFilmLab activities are co-financed by Media Program, the Creative Europe program. This means that we are mostly focused to European writers and directors, even if we have some seats, few ones, for non-European participants. So every year we are more than happy to have partners like Projeto Paradiso that can help us to find the best talents in countries and in places where we are not able to be, or maybe we don't know all the talents. So The partnership, I mean, till now it has been wonderful. I really thank you because you helped us to find great talents. And I really hope that the next year, so in 2022, we will be able to have more participants from Brazil. I don't know if, okay, about the application, because let's go to maybe to the concrete stuff, as you don't have so much time to work on that. You need to apply with a synopsis and a treatment of the project. Plus, you have to fill an online form with your data and bureaucracy, let's call it. So all the form and all the application needs to be done online. After October 1st, we will start the selection process that, as you can imagine, it's quite long. We need 3 months, more or less, to complete it and to come out with the final selections of 20 projects. The selection process has different steps because, as you can imagine, we want to have more professionals involved in the reading. So that's why it's quite long. And so if you have a project in development, it's a fiction film, of course, not documentaries, you're more than welcome to apply. And if you have questions, maybe I can write in the chat the email of my colleagues who is in charge of the program, and that can give you all the answers to your questions. I will put it here in the chat, okay?
Great. What's her name?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Sophia. Well, let me write it here. It's sophia.falchetto@TorinoFilmLab.
Great, thank you.
And you can find the call for application here. But ScriptLab is not just working with projects, like I said until now, but we also have a selection of story editors. Basically, every year we select 5 participants, final 5 trainers, let's call it like this, that want to train themselves as story editors. So they want to learn how to work with writers, directors, and give them the support to develop their projects. So every year we select these 5 professionals, and they join the full training program, meaning the 3 residential workshops plus the online session. And we assign each one of them to one group, meaning that they will work strictly with one tutor and with his or her group of work. Because this training program is a combination between the pedagogical approach, so where we teach you how to be a good story editor and how to address the comments to the teams of work, but it's also concrete work on projects and with experienced tutors. So we really want to put these professionals in a room and really look how the tutors work with the teams and with the projects. So if you decide to, if you're interested in applying in this other program, there is another call for application, so it's not the same, and you can find it here. Okay, the person to contact is always the same, so it's easy, but there are 2 different calls. And also the material required, of course, are different, because in story editing, you're not applying with a project, but you are applying on your own as a professional. So we ask your CV and some information about your career and what do you want to achieve with this training program. Okay.
Great, thank you. So I will say a couple of things before I hand it over to Moara. First of all, it's important to stress that this is the ScriptLab, it's not Feature Lab. So it's for projects that are, I understand, as you said, of course, that will complete their I don't know, timeline. And so, and also the script editing part of things is something that we are super interested in, and was an interest we had from the beginning. We have other actually initiatives, because in Brazil, there are very few opportunities for script editors. It's even something that we don't even really have a name for. So we're super happy because we had Moara in 2021, who took part as a director in the ScriptLab. And we also had in 2020, Hélène Beltramiline, who took part in the script editing lab. Amazing talents, both of them. So we already had one in each. We know how competitive it is, because this is not the one that you have really room for Brazilians, as you said, because you're supported by Media Europe. You even have quotas. It's not like the TFL Extended or other where you have more room. So it's really very tough to get in. So again, congrats, Moara. But it's important that people know that you have to really make your application the best you can, because the seats are very few, especially for us from Brazil. What we do as Projeto Paradiso is we pay the fee. So they have different fees, but we pay the fee where you're selected. And also we support the travel costs for one of the, usually it used to be 3, encounters, 3 travel tickets. We didn't have that problem with Moara last year, this year, even though we hope that she can make it in November to Torino, to the last meeting, but we support 1 travel ticket for one of the encounters. So I just wanted to point out these details. And now we'll hear about Moara, maybe her experience there, but also her experience as an applicant, because I think that's what people are interested also, the do's and the don'ts, and what you did and what worked and what didn't work, maybe the feedbacks you got. Moara Passoni needs no introduction, but I will do one anyway. She's a scriptwriter and a director. She has co-written Democracia em Vertigem, Democracy, I'm sorry, I don't
The Edge of Democracy.
The Edge of Democracy, thank you. That was nominated for the Oscars, and she won multiple awards with her movie Ecstasy. She is an up-and-coming talent in the audiovisual market in Brazil, and maybe now in the world. She's currently in New York studying at Columbia, right? Yeah. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so she will tell us all about her experience at TFL. Thank you, Moara, for being with us.
No, of course, thank you, and thanks for the Projeto Paradiso, because I will speak in Portuguese if I may. I think it's better.
Yes.
And I feel more comfortable too. So, então, primeiro eu queria agradecer o Projeto Paradiso, porque de fato eu acho que o Brasil está passando por um momento muito difícil. O Projeto Paradiso, acho que, enfim, veio suprir uma necessidade enorme, né, de formação com roteiros. Então, realmente, é um agradecimento imenso e parabéns pela ação de vocês. E dizer que eu adoro a Sofia Falqueto, ela tem sido muito, assim, ajudando muito, porque, de fato, eu acho que, assim, né, navegar esse momento de pandemia com o laboratório é um desafio. E a Sofia é realmente muito supportive, muito generosa em todo o processo. Bom, para falar da application, né, eu estou escrevendo um longa-metragem, e quando eu decidi aplicar para Torino, eu tinha uma ideia da história que eu queria contar, né? Só que é uma história muito grande. E eu estava justamente assim, putz, como é que eu vou fazer essa application se eu ainda não achei como contar essa história? E daí o que eu tentei fazer, assim, eu escrevi o melhor que eu pude, o que era aquela história, e falei, como diretor e como roteirista, o que eu gostaria de fazer daquela história, porque por enquanto a minha história é uma história que tem uma dimensão quase épica, num certo sentido, e o que eu quero fazer é um filme neorrealista, pós-neorrealista. Então, quando eu fiz a minha aplicação, eu deixei isso muito claro, né? E eu deixei muito claro também a minha paixão pelo projeto, o meu compromisso e realmente, assim, querer fazer esse filme acontecer. E por que eu acho tão fundamental contar essa história? Por que essa história não é conhecida? Por que é uma história diferente de histórias que a gente... Bom, todo mundo fala que... Muita gente fala que são sempre as mesmas histórias, mas elas também variam muito, né? Assim, eu acho que dependendo dos personagens. Então, essa vida dos personagens, eu tentei evocar também, muito fortemente na application. E tentei também fazer ela de uma maneira que eu conseguisse, pelo menos, estruturar o tratamento de uma forma que ficasse claro para quem estivesse lendo qual que era o movimento geral, o arco dos personagens, o que eu estava tentando, em que dimensão que eu estava tentando entrar nessa história, né? Porque a minha história, por exemplo, ela é baseada numa história real. E por que não fazer um documentário, já que eu venho do documentário? Só que, para mim, justamente, o que eu quero é poder me aproximar da intimidade dessa personagem e viver esse arco junto com ela. Uma coisa que no documentário, claro que às vezes é possível, mas, assim, ainda mais se tratando de uma história que aconteceu nos anos 70, no meu caso, e são mulheres sem imagem, muito, assim, começou a ter documentação sobre elas no final dos anos 70. Então, todo o começo da vida delas, da atividade delas, enfim, é uma história sobre donas de casa que se tornaram líderes políticas durante a ditadura militar, donas de casa lá do Jardim Ângela, que é o bairro em que eu nasci e cresci, enfim. Então, eu falei, bom, tá, então eu precisava mostrar, deixar muito claro na application, primeiro, que história é essa que eu quero contar, que tipo como que eu estou querendo contar essa história, né, assim, e depois também com a minha relação pessoal com a história. E depois tentar o máximo que eu podia deixar claro esses arcos narrativos dos personagens principais. O que mais que é importante? Era um projeto que, assim, eu já tinha ele em mente há bastante tempo, então, quando eu decidi aplicar para o Torino, foi um processo, de uma certa forma, orgânica, né? E, na verdade, foi incrível fazer a application, porque eu acho que o processo de você escrever a aplicação te ajuda muito a compreender o projeto que você está fazendo. Então, para mim, sempre é uma coisa que, enfim, as aplicações me ajudam a amadurecer o projeto. Então, se você é selecionado ou não, claro que é super importante, mas eu acho que o processo de você constantemente pensar nessas aplicações e pensar como comunicar essa história, como tentar contar essa história no projeto, te ajuda também a amadurecer a tua ideia, a tua proposta. E, enfim, que eu não sei, acho que eu queria abrir para perguntas. A experiência do laboratório tem sido realmente muito, muito fascinante. A Marieta, que é a minha orientadora, realmente é uma gênia. E também os projetos que estão, porque cada grupo tem 4 projetos, né? E, de fato, é uma convivência com visões de cinema que são muito diferentes, que tem uma coisa em comum, que todas as histórias têm uma conexão pessoal com quem está contando elas muito forte, e que são visões também de cinema muito fortes, né? Assim, cada um na sua singularidade. E é fascinante como, assim, as conversas realmente são muito orgânicas e como as pessoas contribuem para o seu projeto e como que a gente aprende também a pensar roteiro quando a gente também tem que dar nota para outros roteiros que estão em desenvolvimento, né? Quando a gente tem que parar para pensar em como é que a gente contribui com o projeto do outro. E para mim é uma experiência, Torino está sendo realmente muito incrível. Eu estou me formando em roteiro e direção na Colômbia, que tem uma visão mais tradicional de storytelling, né? Mais clássica de storytelling. E o Torino realmente para mim é um passo de liberdade. E durante as sessões, assim, a Marieta fala, bom, espero que você saia muito confusa daqui, porque é sempre chegar ali, muito questionamento também, né, nas ideias, isso que é legal, não ter medo de abrir as ideias, expor as ideias e receber as críticas e sugestões, e realmente se deixar passar por esse processo de confusão para a coisa ir amadurecendo para você. Eu acho que em linhas gerais é isso, eu vou ver também as perguntas, a gente vai, enfim...
Obrigada, Moara. Boa sorte com o Cost of Living. E aí eu fiquei sabendo que a Angelica está entendendo tudo que eu fui traduzir para ela. And she just told me she's understanding everything. So we might just do it in Portuguese. I'm just kidding. But I'm very happy, very glad you just discovered that Portuguese is another language you understand. So we have some questions already from Honey, and I think Messias, it's really a bit more for Angelica. The first question is about how much of, I guess that's what you mean. Do you only take applications from scripts that can be produced with the funding itself? I understand how much funding, do the projects need funding to be selected, I think.
No, we just we select good ideas. So we are project based. We just select the ideas. We don't look at budget or no finance.
Okay. think that's great news because funding at the moment not easy in Brazil. And also from Hani Macias, and it's a question that we had also, so I'm very glad he asked it first. On your site it says that you have a special main interest on comedy submissions this year, which is amazing. I want to thank you for that. Personally, would you say there is a specific type of narratives you have been mostly driven to in the history of the lab? So maybe you want to talk about this generic question about what narratives you're looking into in general, and what is the specific new thing about comedy?
Yeah, we have a big issue, and I think that all the art house industry has this issue, that art house movies used to be sad. I mean, let's face this and let's put it on the table.
Depressing, not just sad, depressing.
Everywhere, it's always the same issue. And also, I mean, in festival, it's difficult to find comedies because sometimes comedies sounds really commercial. And so this year, in another branch of activities that we have, TFL Extended, we decided to have a comedy lab. So to accept and to have just comedies there. And it was amazing because we received so many applications. So we understood that maybe if we just encourage and we just say to people, okay, we want comedies as well, and we put it in the call for applications, maybe someone with a comedy will be more encouraged to apply. This means that, I mean, we do not accept only comedies. We do not, I mean, we encourage people to send comedies, but we are open to any kind of narratives, genres, whatever. So we don't have any kind of restrictions, but just we want to encourage people to send comedies as well.
To come out of the closet. Sometimes people who write comedy might have felt like they didn't, I don't know, have a place. Maybe that's more why you did that. Okay, good. Wonderful. Yeah. It's great. We have a question from Bernardo, who is a Paradiso talent. Hi, Bernardo. So he's asking, and it's funny because when you said it, there's sometimes a confusion about the use of technical terms because we understand different things. So I think it's great. The question he's asking is, what exactly is a treatment from your point of view? Is it a bigger synopsis? Should we put in the character's description? In Brazil, the treatment is usually a part of the script. So can you clarify what you understand by treatment? Be really interesting.
No, the treatment is a bigger description of the concept. The project. I work more with TV series, so I'm more used to with the concept. No, it's really more a more developed synopsis. So the synopsis is just the story, and it's in one page. The treatment, you also talk about the characters. What Moara said that it's really important, your personal connection with the story. Why do you want to tell this story? Why you are the right person to tell this story? And also which kind of maybe specific things you want to say on a specific topic. So why do you want to investigate a specific theme or topic? So all these things are in the treatment. So it's not script because actually you don't need to write dialogues. Okay.
Moara, você quer contar como era o seu? Você tá no mudo.
Desculpa. Sim, o que eu fiz foi... porque você tem o treatment, né? E você tem, que é um argumento, normalmente acho que em português a gente chama de argumento, né? Em inglês de treatment. Então, e depois também tem o director's statement, né? Então eu coloquei essa questão da personal connection, como é que eu quero contar essa história, o que eu estou enxergando sobre isso, minha paixão, meu comprometimento, etc. No director's statement, e no treatment, no argumento, eu foquei na história em si, e dividi essa história em sequências, né? Eu dividi essa história em 8 sequências e tentei ser clara com o que movimento que tem em cada uma das sequências, quais seriam os principais momentos dessa história toda. E aí, no fim desse argumento, eu apresentei uma coisa bem sintética, esquemática, no sentido assim, tá, isso aqui é a história toda que eu tenho, né? Que eu falei que é essa história grande. Sei lá, que a gente costuma chamar de épico, mas espero pelo menos um épico Bertolucci, assim, sei lá. Mas, e aí depois disso eu falei, tá, mas isso aqui não é a história que eu quero contar. O que eu quero e o que eu preciso ajuda para é chegar nessa história, que é uma história, sei lá, de um dia na vida dessa personagem que tenha o potencial de contar toda essa história, né? Assim, que tenha a força dessas personagens, que evoque as forças dessa personagem. Então eu tentei deixar isso bastante claro. E aí fui muito claro, tentei também, enfim, isso claro que vem dos meus instrumentos da Colômbia também, no sentido de, tá, o que é o inciting incident, o que é o midpoint, o que é o lowest point, essas coisas básicas de roteiro, mas que eu acho que ajudam a gente, pelo menos, a orientar um pouco, a comunicar, né, como é que a gente está vendo todo aquele percurso, toda a história.
Aí eu acho que você respondeu a próxima pergunta, mas é bom talvez você aprofundar. So, Beto Oliveira is asking to Moara, did you point out the deficiencies of your project in the director's intention notes or the treatment, pointing out that these deficiencies would be what you would like to improve? Before you answer, pessoal, vocês podem fazer perguntas em inglês, podem também fazer em português, podem levantar a mão, podem falar, não fiquem tímidos, porque é importante usar esse momento, esse espaço, o tempo dessas pessoas, Angelica e Moara, para tirar todas as dúvidas, elas estão aqui para isso. Então, podem ir fundo. Mas então, back to... desculpe, that was not... I'm sorry, I said it was from someone, but it's from someone... no, that's it. And there's a new question. That's why I got confused. So let's go back to this question for you, Moara.
Yeah, I think that's uma questão bem importante, assim. Eu coloquei os desafios que eu tinha, né? Eu acho que as deficiências, claro, eu adoro, por exemplo, o exercício de contar a sua história para outra pessoa, porque você percebe todos os momentos em que as coisas não estão conectando para valer, assim. Então, eu coloquei muito os desafios que eu enxergava na minha história para o que eu precisava de ajuda. Então, não falei exatamente das deficiências, eu falei, bom, eu tenho esses problemas que eu estou tentando resolver e que eu gostaria muito de trabalhar com o mentor e com a turma em cima desses desafios, para conseguir chegar no resultado que eu quero. Então, eu coloquei dessa maneira, mas sim coloquei. Isso foi uma parte bem importante. Eu deixei isso muito claro no meu Director's Statement, no meu nota de direção, né? Intenção de direção.
Ótimo. Also, there's a question for Angelica. What's the importance of the previous experience of the scriptwriter or the director to participate in the TFL? We know it's project-based, and that can be a question actually also for the script editing, but I think the question was more for ScriptLab. Do you require previous experience?
Yeah, because it's an intensive training program. So, I mean, if you are not experienced at all, you won't make it. I'm sorry, but it's like this. You need to have the tools and to have the language, because otherwise it will be impossible. In fact, we also ask you to send the links to previous work. So if you have any, it's great, because we use this material also during the selection process. It's really important for us to watch what you did in the past as well.
Okay. So there's a question about the Projeto Paradiso Fellowship, and I think I have the answer, but I want my colleagues to make sure I'm not saying something stupid here. So Amanda Costa is asking if the Projeto Paradiso Fellowship can be given out to Brazilians who are not residing in Brazil at the time of the application. I say yes, so Raquel is nodding, so yes, and it's actually Moara's case, even though maybe not at the time of the application, but
no, I was in Brazil.
You were in Brazil, right?
Yeah,
all right, but this can happen and has happened in the past. We basically need you to be Brazilian. That's the only requirement. You can't be like me. You can't be a non-Brazilian who has an RNE, for instance. We're not allowing that so far, so I couldn't apply for a fellowship. But if you're a Brazilian and and wherever you're residing, you can apply. So you're fine.
I want to add something about this, because it's also linked to our applications. If you are Brazilian but you have also a European passport, a European citizenship, mention it in the application because you are European applicant. This is important. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe you have grandparents, you have double nationalities, mention it in the application so you can have one of the European seats and the non-European ones, that are few ones.
Ok, isso é muito importante. So I'll switch back to Portuguese, and I've been asked to say what I just said again in Portuguese, so I'll say that again. Em português, então me pediram para falar em português o que eu acabei de falar, e o que a Angélica acabou de falar é muito importante também. Se você tem algum tipo de nacionalidade europeia, um bisavó italiano, enfim, whatever, o que você tiver, e puder, obviamente, comprovar, te ajuda muito, porque tem muito mais vaga para europeus do que para não europeus. Então, se você tem qualquer possibilidade de ter uma nacionalidade europeia e usar ela na application, faça. Desculpe, o que eu falei da application é que da bolsa, do Projeto Paradiso, é que a pergunta era se você podia aplicar não morando no Brasil, sendo brasileiro, mas não morando no Brasil, e não há problema nenhum. O único requisito é ser brasileiro. Então, pode aplicar brasileiro que esteja morando onde for, pode ser contemplado. Temos uma pergunta, we have another question by another Brazil talent, Marcelo Lordello. Hello. Os inscritos no TorinoLab têm limitação de quantidade de filmes anteriores já produzidos para serem elegíveis. So, I guess the question is there a cap on Peraí, I just moved, the screen just changed. Is there a cap on the number of films that the person has already produced to apply for the lab? Because it's kind of, no, okay. So Marcelo, you can go ahead. Rani Messias, another question. Is it enough to be considered for the ScriptLab to have worked for feature films and done film school, however, not yet written, directed, or really a released feature? So basically, yeah, not properly yet a director with a released feature. So
it means that you have experience as writer, but not as a director, right?
Or you have had, from what I understand, you've done a film school, or you have been associated with feature films, but not in the condition of the main writer or the main director.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah? Okay, well, it's good. Chica levantou a mão. Chica, you can unmute. Thank you. Obrigada, Chica.
Oi, gente, desculpa, eu fechei aqui o bate-papo e não estou conseguindo abrir, por isso eu vou perguntar assim em áudio.
É ótimo, gostamos, pode ficar à vontade.
Perdão, que vergonha.
Imagina.
Eu queria só saber qual a importância, o peso que realmente tem a quantidade de filmes que a diretora, a escritora tenha feito antes.
Tá, eu entendo que a Angélica já falou um pouco disso, mas vamos perguntar para aprofundar.
Talvez eu não tenha acompanhado tão bem inglês.
Desculpe, então. É sobre a questão da... It's about the previous experience.
No, I didn't understand, I'm sorry.
No, it's about the previous experience and how much you expect previous experience. You've talked a bit about this, but it's really about how, how much this matters in the application process, and I'll translate it to Portuguese after if you want to complement what you just said.
Sorry.
About previous experience.
Okay. No, I mean, you need to be experienced. We don't have a kind of number of feature films, short movies that you need to have released. Even if you made a short movies, it's fine. The thing is that, I mean, you need to come from film schools or other training programs. So you need to know what it means to write a feature film.
Okay. Então, ela está só dizendo que não é que você precisa ser o cara, mas você precisa vir de alguma escola de cinema ou ter tido algum tipo de formação em cinema e mostrar que você sabe escrever, basicamente. E até pode ser só em curta, não precisa ser em longa, mas, enfim, alguma experiência tanto em formação quanto em alguma experiência básica de escrita ou de direção é um requisito. Sim, Chica, esclareceu a dúvida? Tá. We have a question from Adir Assumpção. Existe conceito preferencial de comédia? And then he's quoting, we especially welcome applications for feature film comedy projects. So he's going back to this question of the comedy and asking if there's a specific type of comedy that you're looking for. I understand you were trying to say that when we think comedy, sometimes we think commercial. It doesn't have to be that way. Do you want to expand on that?
No, but I mean, every kind of comedies. I mean, all kind of comedies, black comedies, commercial comedies, whatever. I mean, in the 360 degrees meaning of the comedy genre. So whatever. I mean, I don't know all the subgenres of comedies, but there are so many, but all of them.
Great. And you were saying you had many applications in the specific comedy, TFL comedy, and it was great?
Yes. I was thinking, no, there was one Portuguese participant.
None from Brazil.
No. But yeah, I mean, the moment we say we just want comedies, welcome to comedies, they came to us. So when we made a specific call for applications, they are right.
Okay. Pedro Jorge wants to know if you're also open for projects that are aimed for younger audiences, so children's movies or young adults movies.
Yeah, I mean, coming of age stories. But I mean, when the targeted audience are kids, yeah, it's fine as well. Yeah.
Okay,
we
so I'm sorry.
Had animated movies in the
Okay.
past editions. If this can help, the important thing is
animated for kids.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was a feature film animated. It was not for kids, for audience, adult audience. But I mean, the important thing is that you have scripted story. Means that you need you have a scripter to work with, so not just sketch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You need a story and full development.
Okay, it can be just the visuals. Ursula Marina wants to know a bit more about what you are talking about and what you're expecting when you talk about the materials informing about the audiovisual approach, still pictures, video, mood board. Can you tell us more about what you expect to receive as in this kind of materials?
If, for example, you want to send some pictures of the characters of the places that you have in your mind that can be the set of your story, or also, mood boards, so images that can help us to understand the style or the visual of the project, they're more than welcome because they can support what you wrote. So it's really, really important. So, for example, you can do the treatment, and at the end, you can have another document where you just put some images with some descriptions. So, for example, a woman, and you can say, this is how my main character should look like, let's say. Or a landscape, and this is where our story will take place. So really, all the pictures that can help us to visualize what do you want to do. You're mute, Josephine.
Thank you, great moderator. Moara, you wanna tell us about the visuals you used for your application?
Sure. Eu acho que sim, eu usei algumas fotos históricas e algumas fotos de referências de filmes que, enfim, do filme que eu quero fazer, né? Do filme que eu estou, tipo, a visão de filme que eu quero para esse projeto específico, visão de cinema. E também utilizei algumas fotos que são, assim, um pouco sei lá, fotos do Roy de Carava, que é um fotógrafo americano que fotografa cenas e captura uma certa subjetividade dos personagens dentro de um realismo social que eu achava fascinante. Então, eu tentei trazer referências diferentes que permitissem as pessoas verem, né, o que eu estava pensando e sentindo com o projeto. Agora, só uma coisa que eu acho que é importante dizer, acho que escrever esse projeto é um exercício de sedução mesmo. E é muito importante que você fazer a pessoa que está lendo começar a sonhar o projeto com você. Então, acho que isso é uma coisa que eu sempre penso quando eu vou escrever essas coisas e que eu acho que é importante.
Ótimo ponto. So I'm sorry, but Pedro Jorge wants to make sure we have the information right. So if I think he has a live action project for kids, do you accept that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. I was also not sure, so I'm glad we got that. So Marcelo Rodello wants to know about how it'll take place next year. Of course, you've told us about this. So basically, you're aiming at two
Residential.
Right, 2 presential and 3 online. And should there be, I don't know, anything?
It's the opposite. 3 residentials and 1 online. You have the.
Okay, right. Really? Okay, I have different information here. So hold on, let's see if we have the right information in the chat, because I understand the team. Okay. So we are staying in the.
Okay, sorry, it changed from this year. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. 2 residential ones and 3 online.
Right.
Sorry. It's because of. Sorry.
It's okay. It changes all the time. And also I understand that this is if everything works, you know, fine, and there's no restrictions. People are also, and we have had Marcelo and Tom asking again about genre, and if we know about the comedy stuff, but is there any kind of narrative or theme or genre that you've historically been more interested in, or that you're looking for?
No, even if we had more drama, of course, but no. We had more drama, few comedies, not many genres like horror movies.
Okay.
But everything is more than welcome.
Okay. And I'm sorry, because we're going back and forth to the, so now it's another follow-up questions about the visuals. So Tom is asking, so basically, is that a mood board, or it's something less elaborated than a mood board?
No, it can be also a mood board. It can be both. I mean, it can be just pictures, but it can be also a mood board, whatever you can provide.
Ok. Muito bom. Aqui, tá. So I'm looking at the questions we had and the questions in the chat, and we pretty much covered it. I guess one question was about how the lab affected the development of your project, and the writing and the story, Moara. If you want to comment on that.
Mudou completamente meu projeto. Eu tinha uma narrativa bem clássica e eu cheguei ali e comecei a reescrever tudo do zero. Eu tinha, inclusive, uma primeira versão do roteiro escrita e eu coloquei tudo de lado e comecei do zero. E o que eu acho fascinante do Torino é que é isso, não é um laboratório pontual. É um laboratório que, como ele acontece em 4 etapas diferentes, você tem um tempo de amadurecimento do projeto entre um encontro e outro. E você cria realmente uma relação com as pessoas que estão ali, de troca também de pensamento sobre o projeto. Então, acho que diferente dos outros laboratórios que são muito específicos, pontuais, o legal de Torino é esse processo mesmo, ao longo de um ano. E sim, mudou muito. Mudou muito. E também, acho que mudou muito e ajudou e está me ajudando, na verdade, a cada vez enxergar com mais força o que eu quero para esse filme, assim, como é que eu quero contar essa história. Então.
Legal. We haven't had many questions about the script editing, more about the ScriptLab. Peraí, Marcelo Lordello, and he swears it's the last question. You can ask as many questions as you want, Marcelo. We love people who ask questions. Yeah, great question. Does the producer take part in the lab at any point of the lab? And how does that work?
The producer, we call them attached producer, and they can join the lab. This is really up to the tutors how to organize the presence of the producer in the room. But for sure, the attached producer can join the final event, meaning the moment when the project meets the industry. Because of course, if you have a producer there, he has to work and to sell and to find the good partners for your project. So there, for sure, he has a really active role. But if you don't have a producer attached, it's not a problem. Like Moara, you don't have a producer, right?
No, I recently got a producer, but I didn't have neither a producer, neither a co-writer at the time that I applied. I just applied myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but that was a great question. Beto wants to know if there's a limit of number of submissions per applicant.
No, but do not submit 10 projects.
Right.
I mean, as it's limited period of time, and it's, I mean, you really need to make a good application to succeed. I really suggest you to focus on one project and to work on the best application possible. Do not try to send many to get one. Just focus on one and work on that. The projects that you, first of all, you think that can benefit more on this kind of training program. And second, also maybe the project you feel more attached to, and that you feel that it's stronger for you. You feel more connected.
We understood that from Moara's testimony, that the way you feel this is your story to tell and how you're connected to it is really, and your passion for it is really a key. So I think that's a great Jika. Uli wants to know if there are two script writers, should both participate?
You can do it. The thing is that just you have to pay an additional fee.
Okay.
So the fee that you have on the website, it's for one person, and so you have the additional fee to pay. But,
okay.
Yeah.
But you accept both writers, should there be two writers? Okay. And should they be able to pay? Okay. Wait, hold on. O Marcelo fez uma pergunta, mas eu vou primeiro no do Tom. Tom wants to know about script editing, the script editor at lab. Is previous experience required? Participation in labs or workshops? Can that count? Or do you have to be an active script editor or consultant? And also, can he apply to both programs?
Okay. First, again, you need to come from this field, because otherwise for you it will be impossible to work with the writers and the tutors and to attend the training program. You won't understand anything. But we don't ask a specific experience. We ask you to send us send us your CV. So of course, among the applications, we evaluate the experience you have, but you don't need to have a specific experience. You can apply to both. There is no rule that says no, but again, you should know what do you want to do. I mean, which is your main goal? Do you want to work more on your project and to work as a writer, or do you want to help writers and to be a professional and to train your skills? Because it's two different journeys, and you can't do both of them at the same time, for sure. So maybe it's better to ask yourself, what do you feel it's more necessary in this moment for you? Also, because frustrated writer that needs to work with other writers and to help them, it's not a good story editor. So
start by editing yourself is what you're saying. But it's tough sometimes to really even know what you really want. But anyway, great. So Marcelo, again, is asking.
Marcelo, I hope that you will apply at the end. After these questions.
Yeah, you can't do that and not apply. So he's asking, do you have a preference for new talents, or can a producer who already has gone through some kind of Torino opportunity before also apply? Will he be considered as well?
Yeah, of course. We have many producers that applied with different projects, different talents. They're more than welcome. even if, I mean, you can decide also to apply not to ScriptLab, but to one of the other programs, of course. FeatureLab is kind of the step after ScriptLab. So again, really consider what is best for you as professional and for your project, in which stage of development you are. But if, of course, you can apply,
you can, if you have had previous experience with TFL in other editions, or you still can apply. It's not like you want to renew your pool of talents. Okay, good. So Marcelo will be rooting for you. I think we're pretty much done. I want to say one last thing, which is Moara. Thank you so much, because Marcelo said he opened Pandora's box, but you said you just did just that when you sent everybody your email and said anybody who has questions can email me. You have no idea what's coming your way.
Mas é que eu adoro ajudar com essas coisas, mas enfim, se eu puder ajudar de alguma forma, não sei.
It was very generous of you, muito generosa, and thank you so much for you know, just even participating in this talk and giving your experience and opening up even your email for further questions. But I think we covered many aspects, and if someone has the last question, it's the time. But otherwise, I just want to, someone just got in, so hold on. Se tivermos tempo, Moara, tenho, não consigo ler, grande amigo e sócio que participou da última edição. Peraí, não estou conseguindo ler. I'm sorry. Alguém consegue?
Quer que eu leia? Moara, tem grande amigo e sócio que participou da última edição do Lab. E ele está adorando, mas disse que o Lab é bastante revolucionário e intervencionista no projeto. Você concorda com isso? Se sim, poderia consultar como foi lidar e agenciar isso em prol do projeto pessoalmente?
I have to translate this, so it's really great. It's the last question because it's a bit subversive. So someone is saying, has a colleague who went through the TFL lab and has said that it's very hands-on and intervencionista. I have no idea. It really just, you got it. Okay, great. So he wants to know her opinion on that. And then we'll end with that great question.
Eu não acho, para mim, não acho que seja intervencionista. Acho que o que ele faz é te questionar muito sobre a sua ideia, sobre o que você está querendo contar. Então, na verdade, ele não foi intervencionista no meu caso. No meu caso, está sendo, assim, muitos questionamentos o tempo inteiro que, na verdade, me ajudam a amadurecer o projeto. E aí, claro que, pensando sobre essas questões todas e tentando elaborá-las e respondê-las, seja nos grupos, seja narrativamente, quando eu estou trabalhando sozinha no projeto, tem transformado muito o projeto. Mas não foi... Não acho que intervencionista. Não sei se eu respondi sua pergunta.
Eu acho que ele até falou que ele pediu desculpa pela palavra, mas eu acho que a questão é isso, né? Sempre, there's always a fine line, right? You know, how much you own the ownership of the project, and how much you, of course, if you participate in the lab, that you want feedback and you want criticism, but it's always it's a tough one. It's a fine line, and that's where the talent of the lab is, right? To really help you make your own choices rather than, you know, of course, forcing you in a direction or making you feel, I don't know, self-conscious or bad. So I think that the feedback we had on TFL, and especially the mentors, really the role of the mentors, and you said yours was amazing, is that's exactly, I mean, that's kind of where the talent is that the mentors really know how to do this the right way. And this is, I understand, also what you teach in script editing, how to do that, how to help someone with this kind of creative, positive feedback that can include criticism, that can include revolution. But it's a tough one, I understand.
No, it's like when you go to the psychoanalyst. I mean, it doesn't give you the answers, but it tries to drive you to the answers. So upon that, I mean, we are all human beings. So sometimes some of the tutors might be a little bit more passionate, let's say like this. And some of them, but yeah, if you don't want to open the doors, brainstorm, and change your project, it makes no sense for you to apply to this kind of training programs, because that's what they aim for, to really change. I mean, not change, but to achieve the best from your project. So, and you have to go through maybe destruction to do that.
Eu entrei muito em crise com o meu projeto, mas tem sido muito bom.
Crise é bom.
Crise é bom.
Yeah, the report
Pra
comes
mim
with
ajuda.
prizes, no?
Right.
So,
Okay, well, with this, I just want to remind everybody that the inscription process goes until October 1st. The results will be out by February, I understand, 2022. And then the workshops will take place both online and presentially between March and November 2022. And okay, so I'll take this. I want to thank you, Angelica and Moara, but we have a last question, and I think it's interesting. Someone wants to know, how is this project going, Moara, and when will we see it? So let's finish with this, but I want to thank you, Angelica, for your time and answering all those questions, and you too, Moara, for your time and kindness.
No, of course, thank you for having me here. Yeah, and it's a pleasure talking to you, Angelica, too. And eu agora, enfim, o legal do Torino também é que você termina o 4º módulo com um projeto, né? Assim, um projeto que você pode aplicar para fundos de, sei lá, tentar financiamento, etc. Então, meu objetivo agora é chegar num ponto do roteiro e do tratamento em que eu possa começar a buscar financiamento sólido o suficiente, porque assim, claro, eu entendo que o roteiro vai se transformar até o final, o momento final que você está fechando a edição do filme, né? Mas assim, eu acho que pelo menos ter uma visão clara e um argumento, um tratamento forte do seu projeto, ele ajuda muito, e agora meu objetivo é buscar financiamento e coprodução e etc. Também porque a gente está na situação no Brasil, né? Então, eu vou tentar coproduções fora também do Brasil.
Então, Amanda te deseja boa sorte. So I'll say what I just said again in Portuguese because it makes sense. I'm sorry, I didn't do it. So, as inscrições vão até o dia 1º de outubro, o resultado sai em fevereiro de 2022 e o workshop acontece entre março e novembro de 2022. Eram as últimas informações que a gente queria lembrar, e a gente espera que um brasileiro seja selecionado ou no ScriptLab ou no Script Editing, ou no ScriptLab Project, ou no ScriptLab Project, ou no ScriptLab Story Editing, porque assim poderemos dar uma bolsa para esse talento maravilhoso, como demos para a Moara, e agora temos ela na nossa rede, é a nossa honra. Então é isso. So good luck with your applications. As Angelica said, passion is the key, and make it worth it. And we're going to be rooting for all of you. And again, thank you for all of you who listened today, and to you, Moara and Angelica, for your time.
Thank you to you for inviting me. And again, if you need help, whatever, feel free to ask us. We are at your disposal.